Welcome to the Zenix Hospital in-service tutorial video series. This series provides detailed information about the Zenix defibrillator monitor and its functionality. These videos serve as an additional resource to formal training. Please take time to read the operator's guide available online at ZOLL.com. Obtain formal training from an appropriate authority before using Zenix for patient care. In this video, we review best practices for using the Zenix defibrillator monitor with the pediatric and neonate patient population. When Zenix CPR pediatric electrodes are connected to the multifunction cable, the patient type automatically changes from adult to pediatric. To manually change the patient type, use the navigation bar to select pediatric or neonate. The energy delivery joule settings adjust when the patient type is changed to neonate. When the patient type is changed to pediatric, the device automatically adjusts the AED algorithm, energy delivery joule settings, CPR feedback, and NIBP maximum cuff inflation. Zenix pediatric and neonate default defibrillation settings are configurable. Familiarize yourself with your institution's defibrillation settings prior to use. The Zenix default defibrillation energy escalation protocol for pediatric patients is 50, 70, 85 joules. Ensure that the patient's skin is prepped before placing electrodes. Place the electrode by pressing one edge of the electrode first and then rolling the remainder of the electrode across the prepared skin area. Next, eliminate as many air pockets as possible. Beginning at one end and finishing at the other, use even pressure to smooth the electrode. Now, let's review the defibrillation features in AED and manual modes on the Zenix defibrillator monitor. If so configured, your Zenix device will power on in AED mode and guide you through CPR cycles.
Stand clear. Press shock. Perform CPR.
Following defibrillation, Zenix prompts you to continue CPR. Perform CPR according to your local protocols. After just a few compressions, the CPR dashboard automatically appears on the screen. Real CPR Help technology provides real-time feedback on compression rate and depth. This feedback is displayed in white. Another important feature in the CPR dashboard is the CPR countdown timer. This indicates the amount of time remaining in the current CPR interval. The timer counts down from 2 minutes, marking 2-minute cycles of chest compressions. If chest compressions are paused, a CPR idle timer appears. The idle timer helps ensure interruptions in chest compressions are as brief as possible. When compressions resume, the idle timer disappears from the screen. The timed CPR cycle will continue unless you select pause or place Zenix in manual mode. To defibrillate in manual mode, select Manual on the navigation bar and select Yes to confirm. Manual defibrillation is a 3-step process. First, confirm Energy Select Joules. Next, press the Charge button. Finally, deliver the shock. To disarm the Zenix defibrillator monitor at any time once it has been charged, select the red Disarm key located on the right side of the defibrillation dashboard. In manual mode, pressing Analyze prompts the user through a CPR protocol.
Press shock. Perform CPR.
Select the Exit button to return to manual defibrillation. We will now review the Synchronized Cardioversion features of the Zenix Defibrillator monitor. Select the Sync key, which will turn blue, and Sync Cardioversion displays in the window. Note that white arrows mark the R wave of each ECG complex. Choose the desired cardioversion energy using the Energy Select key. Next, press the Charge button. Finally, press and hold to deliver the shock. We will now review the transcutaneous or external pacing feature of the Zenix Defibrillator monitor. Ensure therapy electrodes and a 3-lead ECG are placed on your patient. Select Pacer mode. The Pacer dashboard appears at the bottom of the screen. Note the Pacer is initially off. Use the plus and minus keys to adjust the heart rate. Once you increase the output milliamps, the Pacer will initiate and the display will show Pacer on. Once the Pacer is on, solid white lines will appear on the ECG and the letter P will appear below the marker. Increase output until capture is achieved. To view the underlying rhythm, select the 4-to-1 key in the Pacer dashboard. The Pacer will deliver 1 out of every 4 stimuli for the next 10 seconds, allowing you to see the underlying patient rhythm. Once mechanical and electrical pacing is confirmed, consider using the lock button to disable the touchscreen. To discontinue pacing, adjust the output milliamps to 0 or simply return Zenix to manual mode. Zenix will retain the most recent Pacer settings until the patient case is over and the device is powered off. We will now review how to monitor heart rate, ECG, pulse oximetry, mainstream end tidal carbon dioxide, and non-invasive blood pressure. This will empower you to provide advanced physiological monitoring with your Zenix Defibrillator monitor. While monitoring a patient in manual mode, you can display up to 4 waveforms. The first waveform at the top of the display window is always an ECG waveform. The HR parameter box displays heart rate, derived by default from the ECG monitoring function or from a user-specified monitoring function. Highlight and select the heart rate window to adjust general settings and alarms. To utilize the Masimo pulse oximetry feature, choose a site on the patient to apply the appropriate sensor. The site should be well perfused. Highlight and select the SpO₂ window to adjust general settings and alarms. To utilize the Capnography feature on Zenix, turn on the CO2 monitoring. Select the IRMA airway adapter based on the patient's ET tube diameter and monitoring situation. Attach the IRMA airway adapter to the CO2 probe. A green LED indicates that the probe is ready for use. Attach the airway adapter to the circuit. The CO2 waveform and numeric value appear on the screen. Highlight and select the EtCO₂ numeric window to adjust general settings and alarms. To utilize the blood pressure feature, select the appropriate cuff size for the patient. Press the NIBP key. Once complete, the reading is displayed in the NIBP window. highlight and select the NIBP numeric window to adjust general settings and alarms. Learn more about invasive blood pressure and temperature monitoring in other modules in this series. We have now reviewed best practices for using the Zenix defibrillator monitor in the pediatric and neonate patient populations.